Hello everybody, my name is Rusty Ralston, this is my YouTube page, and welcome to the season of Eurovision.
Well, I've been following Eurovision since 2016. I've only
it just
really been
mixes,
following
like,
it. This is
Three of my favorite things, which is geography, music, and televisual identity. If you know me, you know I kind of have a thing for graphic design. I am part of the Closing Logos group after all, so shout out to those guys. And there's also a healthy bit of stats sprinkled in there. But yeah, I'm just really interested in the Eurovision Song Contest, and I'm going to be doing an entire season full of Eurovision related goodness, except for the week of April 13th, because that's something different. I'm just going to go all out this year, and you can find the docket on my community tab. It's just right there. Just go to community. I was also supposed to do a video about the recent Senate bill that passed, which got rid of the twice a year clock shifts. I'm going to be moving that. I'm gonna be springing that forward to the after the Eurovision month, so you'll see that then. Right now, I'm going to be mostly focusing on Eurovision. So yeah, let's get started. What I'm going to talk about today was actually a big influence on why I had to move that daylight savings time video, because I didn't realize it was going to happen until like the Friday before it started. So I figured, okay, well, I'm getting in the Eurovision, I gotta make a video about it. And so I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on the American Song Contest. And needless to say, I was very disappointed. Actually, no, I take that back. Because to say that I was disappointed in this was to imply that I actually expected this to be a good thing. And I didn't. While I hate cynicism, I was really cynical about this. Yeah, my cynicism proved to be true, which is sad. I don't know what that says about me, but yeah. As of the time is 2:10 a.m. The contest is now over 48 hours old, I want to say, and or maybe 24. I don't know how time works. It started on Monday, but yeah, the contest is like over 24 hours old, and they just started. And I'm probably gonna judge the entire contest based off of the first episode, because there are a lot of glaring problems that I'm seeing right from the start, and I feel like they're just gonna continue on throughout the contest. So I mean, there's no need for me to repeat myself beforehand. So I'll just get my concerns out right now, and hope they're. Well, just get my concerns out now, and just get it over with, and just not beat a dead horse, because I don't like doing that. So I want to say first off, I am not criticizing the songs, because like any good song contest, or any song contest at all, especially the good ones, there are, you got your really good songs, and then you got your songs that are okay, and then you got your clunkers. But I am not going to be criticizing the songs. I'm going to be criticizing the show itself. The systems used and the way it's presented. I'm going to critique that. And I have a lot to say, mostly negative, about the format. But first off, I'm going to start off with a big positive, which is that Snoop Dogg and Kelly Clarkson, they were really good hosts. I like them. They both have experience doing game reality talk type shows, just like live shows and shows that are done live to tape and all that. Like Snoop Dogg, it was the host of the revival. It helps that The Joker's Wild on TBS and TNT, and Kelly Clarkson's currently having her syndicated eponymous show. I think it's going into her fourth season. I want to say fourth season. I don't know. I don't want to look it up because I don't have time right now. But all I'm saying is they have experience, and it shows in spades. They were easily the best, the one thing NBC got right. I have to say the graphics were kind of bland. They just felt like something I'd see on like a social media post for Nickelodeon, or I don't know, a PSA or something. It's just, they just feel generic, like the type of graphics you come to expect for the last 4 or 5 years. You know, I get it, they want to play it safe, but like, you know, come on. It's just, I don't know. One nitpick I have, and one thing I thought they were going to do, I thought they were going to show off the flags, like how Eurovision does it, you know? Like they have the flags of the countries. But no, they don't. And I was really hoping they did, because it was going to show to America how bad flags of the United States are, like the flags of the states inside the United States, because they suck so badly. Like, take a look at these 3 random flags. Try to guess which state they are in. Alright, here's the answers. Guessed wrong, didn't you? Yeah. The graphic designers must have gotten confused too, because all they did was just put the postal code in a box. Which is serviceable, but bland and boring, but, you know, it works, I guess. I have a feeling that they did this intentionally, because they knew the flag situation in the United States is so terrible, yet they let people like Iowa and Mississippi and Puerto Rico, they let theirs fly their flag, especially Puerto Rico, since, you know, their flag is as iconic as Texas. But yeah, I guess they wanted people to like say, huh, that's very odd. They're letting Puerto Rico have a flag, and they're letting Mississippi have a flag, and they're letting Iowa have a flag. Like, what's our flag? What's the flag of Minnesota? And they look at their flag in Minnesota, and they see it, and they go, "Oh my God, it's so terrible! Quick, where's the Senate website? We gotta change the flag ASAP." So yeah, I guess in a way the graphics are actually pretty genius, but right now they suck. And now we're getting into the stuff that I really didn't like about this show. And let's start off with one of my biggest pet peeves, which is a trend that is increasingly prevalent in NBC's shows for the last decade or so. And they're everywhere, from their adaptation of Ninja Warrior to The Voice to America's Got Talent to even game shows like The Wall or Who's Still Standing. They do this all the time, and that is the sob story. I absolutely dislike the sob story. It feels like the producers were wanting to give us viewers extra incentive to root for a good act, to make it to the semifinals and the finals and all that stuff, or to root for somebody to make it through the obstacle course, or root for somebody to, you know, win the Plinko game or not drop through a hole in the floor. And sob stories do this by just making us envy, pity, and feel sorry for the Forsyths. Like, you know, we've seen this with the Puerto Rican entry and the Indianian, the Hoosier entry, Rhode Island entry. We've seen this. It's just making me feel. It's just trying to make me feel sorry for a contestant at gunpoint. And I don't like that. It feels like it's pandering. And I don't like pandering. Especially when it comes to shows like this, when you're rooting for the performer because they come from your state, or they dabble in the music that you really love. Like, we shouldn't have more incentive than just like, hey, I think the singer is really good. I think she should pass the auditions. Or, hey, that guy is lightning fast. He should go through the obstacle course. Or, hey, it's a contestant on a game show. I want them to win a jackpot. I want them to win lots of money and cash prizes. Playing Annabelle Trivia every Thursday. Now, of course, they didn't do sob stories all the time. Otherwise, it'd be a depressing mess. So they did the whole, get to know stories. Like, get to know this. Like, oh, Michael Bolton. He likes a pizza restaurant. Or the Iowan. I'm bad with names, I'm sorry. They run a coffee shop. And also like glitter. Which means they can't be trusted. And also they're from Iowa. And also they play guitar. Or the Montanan dude, talking about his state, about the area code 307, Wyoming. And, it's just like, yeah, they're nice, but like, I kind of just want to get to the songs. Because this is stuff you put on a pre-show. Introducing the contestants, but this is stuff you put on a pre-show or on a YouTube. Like, this is not something you air during the main show. The show should be, alright, let's get to the songs, have a minute break for, stage cleanup and all that, and then let's go. Because the sob stories and the get-to-know pieces, they're there to waste time, which is something that NBC does not need. Because they're a commercial network. They're not publicly funded like PBS. They're a commercial network. So they run about 4 5-minute long commercial breaks. Which is, more than enough time to reset the stage and all that. And it's just like, it's just... you don't need those. You just don't need those. Of course, with Eurovision, you have the postcards. They're barely a minute long. They don't try to make the viewer cry or sell something other than the country of which the contest is being held in. And they're fairly upbeat. They keep the pace going. Just keep the pace going. And plus, they're usually over before you know it, and already you're on to the next song. You don't, just, hey, here's the name of the person, here's the name of the song. That's all you need to know. Another thing I don't really care for about the Eurovision Song Contest is that it sort of falsely implies that all the states are independent, which they are not. The United States originally were their own states, hence the name United States. Then some things happened and it all became one country, or 2 countries if you count Puerto Rico as some sort of weird Taiwan thing. But technically speaking, one country. And as such, you get the same TV, basically the same TV networks from New York City to LA to St. Louis, to Jacksonville to Seattle, just same TV stations across the country. And well, yes, the schedules and the local news and the syndicated programming, they obviously differ. The channel numbers obviously differ, but at its heart, it's just the same network all across the board. As such, the dividing by states feels very, very arbitrary to me. Because I think they mentioned themselves, they actually auditioned. You actually audition for this. You don't go through like internal selections or a national final or a statewide final. It just feels like an audition. Just go and audition. I was like, oh, you're from Florida. Okay, you're representing Florida. It just feels. No, they just feel arbitrary. I know Germany has a similar system. At least they have semi-autonomous, regional networks of the public which are subsidiaries of the public network. At least they can get away with it more. I guess affiliates like My State's 5 or 6, depending on who you ask. My State's affiliates, they could gather up, unite and do like an audition show statewide, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not. Now, my biggest problem with the American Song Contest is the schedule. Now, we all know Eurovision as the 1 day and later 1 week event of the year, but this contest stretches it out to 7 weeks, 7 episodes, if you will. And this, I already have a problem when they did this with American Ninja Warrior. When, Ninja Warrior, Sasuke, it was a 1 day event. But NBC, they changed it into like a seasonal event, like they have to get all these different episodes. Like, it's not, you can't have a 1 day event. It has to be like a season, and that I kind of have a problem with. I didn't like it when they did it with Ninja Warrior, and I don't like it here. So the format is only 7 songs are heard each night. Yes, only 7. And how the voting works is the most complicated thing I've ever seen. Well, I mean, not really. I've seen more complicated things, but you know what I mean. How the voting works is that there is a 56-member jury, 1 person from each state. And they get to vote on which song they like best. They're not allowed to vote for their own state. And the artist they picked goes immediately to the semifinals. And that artist immediately goes to the finals. Then the viewers at home have 3 days to cast the televotes. Yes, 3 days. They select their favorites. And I assume it's going to be announced on the next episode, because that worked so well for America's Funniest People. In fact, so well that they abandoned it after 5 episodes. But yeah, and then after all the selections have been picked, all 20 selections have been picked, the jury gets to vote on 2 more selections that weren't already selected, and it just... This already feels like it's being copy-pasted from America's Got Talent or American Idol. It is just... It's so needlessly complicated. And it doesn't need to be, because the better option is staring them right in the face across the Atlantic. We all know how semifinals work. There's the big 5 countries: Italy, Spain, UK, France, Germany. They're into the finals no matter what, along with the host country, which isn't happening this year because the host country is also one of the big 5. And then, 35 countries get to compete in 2 semifinals. Top 10 from each semifinal gets to go to the grand final. And we all know what happens from there. Winner takes all. This semifinal system is great because the Eurovision Song Contest has the potential to expand into 52 countries and beyond. We could see a 52-country song contest in the future. And I'm pretty sure if they expand the 52, that semifinal system will handle them beautifully. And the US decided not to do this. NBC decided not to do this. Even though you could easily split 56 into 28, you can have 2 semifinals. You could have the voting... You can have the results of the voting from both a jury and a televote the night of the contest, of the semifinals and the grand final. And, it's a great system, and they decided not to go for it. Which the question is, why will they do this? And the answer is actually quite simple. They're a commercial network, and they are trying to maximize profits. So they figured, we can artificially extend this. It's no bother. We can make we can make like 6 or 7 episodes out of this. Who cares about integrity? And it honestly just feels like a bastardization of Eurovision. In the same way that Doctor Who 1996, the TV movie, was kind of a bastardization of Doctor Who. It just felt too American for Doctor Who, and this feels way too American for something associated with Eurovision, and I just can't accept that. It really felt like the 12 executive producers. Yes, this had 12 executive producers. Talk about too many cooks in the kitchen. They just didn't really get how Eurovision worked. And instead just tried to make it like a normal reality singing contest. Or, like American Idol, America's Got Talent. I know it's a talent contest. I'm including that in because of reasons. The Voice, The X Factor, etc. They try to make it like those, which is something that Eurovision kind of is the antithesis of. Eurovision is all about freedom of expression, not cold corporate control, like those shows are. And Eurovision wasn't trying to take the world by storm. They were just like wanting to show off the culture of Europe and the television of Europe and the radio of Europe. They're just trying to show off the culture of Europe to a wider stage and have countries, sort of mingle, because it was the post-war and people were still kind of uneasy about each other. Like the Cold War has just started, so let's just have something to ease the tensions a little bit. It wasn't trying to be the next best thing, and it wasn't trying to be a massive juggernaut. It just sort of became one because it was just so simple that it worked. Not taking yourself too seriously also really, really helps. It doesn't have that they were trying to start big, like having every single state of the United States united as one in a song contest. Like, they weren't trying to be like that. They were just trying, like the first Eurovision only had like 7 countries. Like, it was just simple. I think the American Song Contest really didn't get how Eurovision worked, and also just kind of bit off more than it can chew, because it was trying to cater to like the entire U.S. and I'm willing to bet not a lot of people actually care outside of music-loving cities and states. Like my state, where we have a big, giant zit called Nashville. I'm only kidding. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the American Song Contest. If I were to give it a rating out of 10, I'd give it a 2.6 out of 10. Just not very good. I do not recommend. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope you join me for more Eurovision season. And I'm Rusty Ralston. I'm tired and I'm done. Hey everybody, I want to thank you all for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Support the algorithm. Helps the algorithm find people like me. And if you really want to help, support me on my Patreon. You get exclusive perks. You get videos early. You get exclusive videos. Your name in the credits. You get a custom t-shirt every month or every few months. You may even take a sneak peek at my new book. I may have said too much. But, yeah. You get all the wonderful perks of being a Patreon, and you only have to chip in like $1. And, you already have your name in the credits. So yeah, support me on Patreon, and once again, thanks for watching.